Hello, guys. Welcome back to the FPL Duo. Welcome back to the channel. Back again for another one. We're here today for the Game Week 34 or Blank Game Week 34 deadline stream. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? How's your week going so far?
Yeah, obviously weekend's here. Obviously, hopefully everyone's having a nice, weekend off. And yeah, we prepare for this obviously blank game week 34. A lot of chips are going to be used this game week. A lot of free hits. So yeah, I guess there's a lot to talk about and going forward as well after the blank.
Yeah. We're going to discuss sort of our teams. I mean, I'm on a free hit. As you guys may know, I did activate the free hit soon as Game Week 33 sort of started. I had like 3 playing players, so no other choice but to play the free hit. I've made a few changes, as you guys might see from those that was in the previous video when we did on, was it Wednesday we streamed? Thursday. And there's been 2 or 3 changes to the team. So I'll kick off with the goalie. There's been a change. Pope has come into the team now. Nick Pope, who has Ipswich at home. Swapped him out for Leno because I've bought in another new pick, Sessegnon, who I've decided to go for, who's got Southampton away. Bit of a differential. He's got the attacking threat. And yeah, I'd rather have the Fulham defender, I think, rather than the Fulham goalkeeper. Eight Nuri's always been in the team. He's got Leicester at home. I think it's a nice fixture for Wolves. And I expect Eight Nuri to do quite well. Cucurella is the other one. I will probably start him against Everton at home. He has got a couple of goals this season. I think he's got a couple of assists as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just have a look. So Cucurella has, let's have a look, 4 goals and 2 assists this season. It's not bad. And yeah, we know he's got attacking threat this season slightly. And it's a must-win game for Chelsea. So happy to see how it goes. We've got Dan in the chat. Says, "Morning, guys. Hope you're doing well." Yeah, morning, Dan. Yeah. Doing well. Hope you're good. In the midfield 4, it's pretty much a lock now. One little change is I am now starting Luis Diaz because I believe Luis Diaz will start tomorrow against Tottenham. So that's been the change because I had Clivert here, if you remember, guys, correctly. But I've gone Liverpool double attack. I think it's going to be popular. I actually expect Liverpool to put 3 or 4 goals past Spurs. I think it's going to be a bit of a part of the atmosphere. Obviously, Liverpool need 1 point to mathematically confirm the league. Liverpool's record against Spurs is very, very good. They usually score. Liverpool Spurs game usually average a lot of goals, 3+ goals in most games. There's been a 6-3 this season. I think there's been a 4-0 as well, I believe. So yeah, going double Liverpool attack is definitely something that I'm locked into doing now. I've gone with Palmer despite his form. It's a differential for the non-free hitters, so that's where I'm trying to be a bit more different. Hopefully, the non-free hitters won't have him. And then Murphy's in there purely because I think he's more nailed than Barnes and Gordon. Could rotate on that side. And I want a Newcastle attacking player, so Murphy's in the team. And then up front, nothing's changed. Cunha, Isak, Raul. It's going to be quite template, the front 3. But it's because they are probably the best picks. Isak's the vice captain. I think he's probably the second best option for me. We'll come on to captains in a sec. So I've gone with Isak as the vice. Cunha's got a nice fixture against Leicester. We know Leicester already relegated. And yeah, Cunha is one of the better picks on the free hit, I think. Being a bit different. Again, not a lot of non-free hitters will probably have him. And then I've also got Raul, who has Southampton away. I wasn't 100% sure on Raul. I could swap that out for another player, but there is that slight worry. Can Mooney start? But that's the way I'm going as well. I think to be different slightly because I am chasing a bit. His ownership is 7.5%. He did start the last game, played 83 minutes. So I'm hoping he does start this one, but we'll have to see it. I could do a last-minute swap to maybe like a Welbeck or Strand Larson and go double Wolves attack. But yeah, that's how it's looking at the moment. I'm pretty locked in all positions. On the bench, I've got Leno, and Burmo, Trent, and James. I could play Trent instead of Cucurella. But the worry with Trent is, will he start? And then also, if he does start, he probably will get subbed off for Bradley, so the minutes there. But I think Trent's a great option in that game at the differential as well. So yeah, that's the team, guys, and I'm on the free hit. It's active, and hopefully, it could be a good week. Let's take a few comments, and then we'll go on to Jordan's team as well. I'm torn between Newcastle attack or double defense. I'd go double attack and then go just the one defender like myself. I'd go Isak, Murphy, and then whoever in defense, whether you want a Pope, your Trippier, etc. Pope, Trippier, Mbermo, and Raul, or Leno, Nuri, Barnes, Murphy. I wouldn't want the double Newcastle defense personally. I'd rather have the attack, because against Ipswich, they may get a clean sheet, but they can also win 4-0. And when you win 4-0, you'd probably want the attacking players.
I probably would go Leno, Nuri, Barnes, and Murphy personally.
Yeah.
Even though Wolves might concede, Nuri has that attacking threat anyway, so he has that cover in case the clean sheet gets wiped for Wolves.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think of the free hit? Is there anything else that you done your free hit draft, right? You had Welbeck in the draft you had.
No, I had Chris Wood in the draft. I think the front three were like that, but instead of Raul Jimenez, it was Chris Wood. I would even be tempted to go for another non-Forest player in the midfield instead of Luis Diaz, maybe a Gibbs White, for example. I mean, they've got Brentford, which is a tough game, but I think it's more for what they're playing for, not the Forest, the top.
Yeah,
getting into the top four. So
it's just when I watch Forest, I feel like it's the odd goal they win by. They're not going to win 3-4, and I can just see Liverpool winning by a big score on Sunday. And Diaz has actually been Liverpool's. I'd say he's probably been better than Salah the last 3-4 games. He's had chances. So yeah, I'm hoping to take a punt on Diaz. What's his ownership? 22%. He has got 2 goals in his last 3 games. Scored against West Ham, scored against Fulham in the loss. He's actually, to be fair, in his last 6, he's got 5 attacking returns. So he's in a bit of form, Luis Diaz. But yeah, I'm just pretty locked on this one, to be fair. I just think Liverpool are going to score probably the most goals alongside Newcastle. I think they're the best fixtures, Newcastle and Liverpool. I think playing at home for the title, I can see 3 or 4 throw. Yeah, we'll see. But I think I think Forest is a tough game against Brentford, personally.
Yeah, it will be a tough game for sure. It'll be interesting to see what the score is as well for that game, because not the Forest will want to push for it. Brentford don't really need to. So it will be interesting what the end result is. But I think if not Forest do win, that pretty much secures them, I think, in that spot to get championship.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest sort of should get Champions League now, but it's still a bit of a race. Let's have a look at Soul Searcher says, "Morning, lads. I've just popped over my team on X. Thoughts? I'm bringing it up now. Sanchez, Nuri, Trent, Sessegnon, Murphy, Barnes, Salah, Iwobi, Strand Larsen, Isak, Cunha. So that's triple Newcastle attack, double Wolves attack as well. I like it. It's different, definitely. The Iwobi pick's interesting because that's different. Not all people have gone for Iwobi. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good team. Not sure about if I'd go triple Newcastle attack, and then only just the one Liverpool attacker. I'd probably want another Liverpool player in there in the attack, but the team looks good in my opinion.
Yeah, I had Iwobi on my draft, free hit draft we did on Thursday. I think it's a good differential, especially for Southampton away. You're more likely will see him score rather than around Jimenez. It's that kind of fixture where the attacker normally doesn't get much, but the midfielders behind him do.
Yeah. Fulham. Apparently, Fulham are 17th for clean sheets, which puts me off Leno. they leaked the odd goal. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I've sort of I mean, I've got Pope now. I had Leno on the team starting, but then I sort of swapped it out.
yeah. The one thing that puts me off going for a player against Southampton is obviously Southampton always seem to manage to score, whether it's late or early in a game, even though the other team's controlling most of the match. They somehow manage to just wipe clean sheets off of teams, and I think that also puts me off for going for a player that's against a Southampton team, even though there's nothing for them to play for. They just have the pride at the moment, but yeah, it just puts me off completely. I just feel like they're going to concede, despite strongly they should be keeping a clean sheet for them.
Yeah. I mean, let's pull up your team because you're not on a free hit, right?
Yes, but again, that all depends on if there's a double game week at 36.
We won't know, I don't think, until I don't know when. Till should have been announced. I feel like by now.
Yeah, that's the problematic thing, because we probably won't know till after this deadline stream is ended, and by then, whichever I
there
decide,
is a potential double game week 36 still. Yeah, there is still a potential for double game week 36, but again, it's going to depend on FA Cup. There probably will be, but it's just whether when you wait for that.
yeah, I think it's still. Well, you can see the team at the moment. I'm somehow going to manage to get away with going without using a free hit just because of the last double game week potentially in 36.
Also, with double game week 36, there will be I mean, Palace, I believe may double, or Villa could double as well potentially. So, I mean, you could get rid of those players anyway. It's not no bother to you because you can just free hit them back in when they do double. So I wouldn't be worried if I were you removing Palace, Man City assets. So you can go bold and do something different with a budget like De Bruyne taking up a lot of money in your team, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there's 3 blanks in the 11, so I can pretty much navigate this without a free hit. But yeah, the current team obviously is Pickford in goal. Back 4 this week. Obviously, I have to go with the back 4 of Hoyson, Milenkovic, Nuri, Mikalenko. So it is to be at the back this game week. And then the midfield trio, Salah in Burmo. Obviously, De Bruyne hasn't got a fixture. And then Isaac is the only forward available for this game week because Marmoush and Mateta also don't have a fixture. And obviously, on the bench, no one has one either. Vardy Marston does, but he's a non-playing goalkeeper for Brentford. So the plan is, so if I move over to the transfer page, because I was debating on -4, as you guys know, but the first free transfer I was looking to do is take out Mateta and obviously bring in Cunha for the 1 free transfer. Now, the -4, I don't think I would take. I was contemplating on doing it, but I don't think there's any player worth the -4 that I could possibly go for this free hit because the selections, I'm not really missing out on many. A lot of them are differentials, one-off punts, not really a nailed pick. I could potentially replace for one of my blank players. So I think I will roll with this, go with 9 starting players for this week.
Yeah.
Instead of 11, and hopefully I can sort of.
Could you do a minus to bring in a Newcastle player like a Barnes or a Murphy? Because I know you were thinking of that as well.
Oh. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well, but
sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that, but my mic just fell on that side. My mic stand.
No, that's all good. Yeah, I was thinking about Murphy or Barnes to be in place, but again, I don't know how many Newcastle will score against Ipswich and whether Barnes or Murphy can make up for the -4.
Yeah,
because it'll take at least a goal and an assist or 2 goals for them.
Yeah, I mean they could easily win 3-4-0. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle did sort of smash Ipswich, but it's whether it's going to pay off the free hit. You need them to basically get a goal or an assist just to be worth the hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. I am
Definitely
tempted by
possible.
it.
Definitely possible, because we saw Barnes, what he done. We saw what Murphy done a week before that. I think Murphy got me like a 30-pointer.
Yeah, it is tempting. The more I think about it, the more I'm likely to do it. So keep watch, because I might change my mind on the take of the -4 this week.
Yeah.
Because I am captaining Cunha to go different. I'm not going for Isaac or Salah, which most people will this week. So I am going bold with the Cunha captaincy.
Yeah. I probably think Cunha, for me, Cunha is the third best pick this week. I think for me, Salah is by far and away the best pick this week. I just have, I don't know, maybe it's me getting giddy with the league. I just think Liverpool are going to put a couple goals past Spurs, and Spurs are pretty poor when I've watched them play this season defensively. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Absolutely.
Isak is another one. I just think, for me, he's the second best option against Ipswich at home. We know they need to get a win for Champions League just to secure it, take pressure off themselves. And then I'd go Cunha third, relegated Leicester. Wolves don't have much to play for really as well, because Wolves probably know they're safe as well. So, but yeah, that's the way I'd go. Jenny says, hi Hassan, Jordan, 1 free transfer, -4 for Barnes. I mean, this is what your dilemma is, because you're considering whether you should do it or not.
Yeah, because I'm split whether a -4 for Barnes is worth it, because obviously with the Warden back as well, that means Barnes won't play the 90 minutes. He'll probably play like 60 or 70 and then be subbed off. So with a bit of luck, if you do go for the -4, if Barnes does score or get a return early on in that game, it's worth it, I think, for the -4. But he has to do it early rather than late, because the longer he stays on the pitch, the more chance he is going to come off the pitch, and then obviously will be replaced with Gordon. I think it's worth it. The more I think about it now, I think it is worth it for the -4, especially with the fixture that Barnes
and
has.
you've got nothing to lose at this rate. You have to go different. The game weeks are running out, I think. Like, if you're ever going to get 200-300k green arrow, you got to bring in someone like Strand Larson, and you hope he scores a hat-trick, I think. That's the territory you're in.
Yeah, you got to be bold. Hence why I'm going Cunha captain, hoping that he does a madness and scores 2 goals or a hat trick, rather than going for a Salah or Isaac, because again, that's not really going to move rank. So yeah, I think Jenny, -4 for Barnes is something you want to do if you're chasing rank.
What do you think of Bournemouth clean sheet odds?
I think really high.
I can bring up the clean sheet odds.
Just from the perspective of obviously Man United and Bournemouth, I think a clean sheet for them is really high. Man United are going to focus more on the Europa League rather than the Premier League now. It's going to be rotation. And yeah, I don't think they'll score. Yeah. All good, House. Oh. He will return. It's a bit of technical difficulties from him. But yeah, Dan, I think...
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
I can't hear you. Give me a second. I'm going to find out what's happened here. Yeah, all good. I couldn't hear you. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all good.
But yeah, I think you should go for a -4. -8 is too much, I think. But if I was in your position, I think, Jordan, I would probably take the hit, but at this rate.
Yeah, I think I'm looking more towards taking the -4 hit and hoping that it does make up for it, along with Cunha captaincy. And yeah, might as well go for it. You have nothing to lose and a lot to gain from the move.
Fair enough. Jenny, thanks, guys. Have a great week. Yeah, have a great week too. Hopefully you get a red arrow, green arrow. I definitely don't want you to get a red arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, are you gonna lock your moves in or?
Yeah, I might as well actually. Let me do the second move just to see what it looks like. Let's take out De Bruyne. Because he is a lot of money, and I'm swapping for Barnes. And yeah, that'll be for the -4. I think I might as well do it because I don't think I'm gonna hesitate at not making the move. So here we go, guys. This is for the -4, De Bruyne and Mateta out for Barnes and Cunha for the -4. And let's confirm that. Switch over to the other screen. So you guys can see the updated team. And there you go. Barnes and Cunha in the team. Captaincy will go on to Cunha. On the device on Salah and saved. So that is my blank Gameweek 34 team. Non-free hit blank Gameweek 14 locked in.
Nice one. Yeah, I think I would have done the same, to be fair. I would have done it.
Yeah. The more I look at it now, the more that looks a lot more better now. Playing with 10. I need Marmoush being the blank player this week. I don't think it'll be a high scoring week anyway. I'll be very surprised if it is. So yeah, I think as long as I get a green arrow from this -4 and navigate it past it, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I think it'd be easy to get a green if I'm honest. The rank I'm in at 1.7 million.
Yeah, I've had a pretty bad couple weeks, I think, in FPL anyway. I thought I was making progress, maybe trying to get 200k, but then bang, red arrow back down to like around 500. It's been a tough season. I think for me, the damage was done really, I think, very early on, not going with Salah. For those, like, I didn't have Salah for like 3 or 4 game weeks, and he was getting 20 pointers in, like, every week. Actually, let's actually do a little review. I do want to quickly see. I know I'm on a free hit, so you guys know what my team looks like. I'll just quickly show you guys my points. Let's go all the way to game week 1, where I sort of messed up. Sorry, guys. So game week 1, I look back now. There's a few things I called really well, and then I made a mistake. Chris Wood is the biggest mistake I've made all season. Let me show you why. I started with Chris Wood in my team. And bear in mind, guys, not a single person, I didn't know many people that had Chris Wood at the start of the season. Like, it was a very, very differential pick. Most people didn't look at him. Ola Aina is another one that most people didn't look at. I had him in the team. As you guys can see, Salah isn't in the draft because I decided to go for Haaland draft, which obviously didn't pay off. But I ended up game week 1. I think Salah went and smashed it this week. I'm not mistaken. And then game week 2, again, I think Salah smashes it. Nkunku was the flop pick. I started with Nkunku because I thought at his price, I think it was 5.5 million or so, maybe 6 million. I thought he would be the one that there's always one player you think is going to do more than they actually end up doing. And Nkunku, starting with him, a lot of managers did start with him, to be fair. Even Eze started with Nkunku, and Eze just didn't pay off. And that's the mistake, I think. I picked too many players like Rodgers, Smith-Rowe, Nkunku the week before. But you see Chris Wood. Chris Wood was scoring goals very early on. It was at the season, and I got rid of him. He was scoring every week at the start, and then I got rid of him because I thought, you know what, he's had his purple patch. He's probably gonna start blanking soon, and then he started still scoring. Let me see when I got rid of him. I had him in game week 5. He got me 8 points. I think this is the week I brought Salah back in. So I went 3 game weeks without Salah. I had him in game week 4, the week he blanked. So I mean, I didn't wait too long to bring him back in, to be fair. But then you look how much points I missed out on. First game of the season, Salah 14 points. Second game, 10 points, and then a whopping 17 points against Man United, and that was it. I had to bring him in. But then he blanked when I bought him in against Forest with a loss. But yeah, that's where I sort of messed up, I think. And then also some picks I did, the differentials didn't pay off. Eze was another one. João Pedro. Let's not forget João Pedro. I had him for weeks and weeks.
João Pedro
did nothing. Even Calvert-Lewin. I went Calvert-Lewin on my wild card. What was I thinking? Looking back at my team, Solanke, the Spurs guys. I had Van der Ven. I think Van der Ven was the defender transfer I made in game week 7. Just pointless. Triple captain flopped. The Haaland only got 1 goal. And triple captain. And yeah, it was been an uphill battle since then, basically. Calvert-Lewin. Can you believe I had Calvert-Lewin and Archer starting for me in game week 10? I mean, yeah, and Rico Lewis. Mate, I don't even know why I had Archer. I think it must have been the budget reasons. I wanted Salah, Haaland,
I think so.
Palmer. Like you said, I had Haaland, Palmer, and Salah at the same time.
Triple premium. Yeah,
I had triple premium, and then obviously to do it, I had to go Archer. Which obviously looks a bit crazy looking back. And then yeah, it got to like game week 12, and then I started, perma capping Salah, and then this sort of helped me. Saka came in, triple Wolves at one point. Yeah, it's interesting to sort of look back. But anyway, we're at game week 34 now. This is my team, and hopefully we can get a green.
Yeah. I think the downfall of my season was obviously owning and not owning Haaland at the wrong times. I originally started with a non-Haaland draft on my team and went without him for many weeks, where he scored 2 goals, hat-trick.
Did you start with Salah in your game week 1 team?
I did, yeah. I think Salah's been in my team since game week 1. I've not taken him out, and he was the first to go in. And I think he's the only player I've kept in my team.
You had Salah in game week 1?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you did. But you didn't have Haaland, and Haaland done a madness as well early on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I went without Haaland. I had Solanke in his out front with Muniz as the third forward. And most of the money went from Bruno Fernandes, Saka, and Salah in the midfield. But at that moment, obviously Salah and Haaland were racing between each other in points. But Haaland just had the upper edge.
Dan also says it didn't have Wood for most of the points. David Hamilton, his boy got married, forgot to pick Salah. Yeah, I actually did get married last summer. But yeah, going without Salah was at the start. I don't know what it was, because I don't like going for double premium, and because they were so expensive, I thought it would imbalance the squad. But the way it turns out, Salah's had the best ever season of an FPL player. He broke his own record in 17-18, because the most points ever by a Premier League or FPL player was 303 points from Mo Salah in 17-18. He's now currently on, I don't even know what he's on. How many points? He's on 320 points, which is smashed his previous record. And he's still got 5 games to go. So he can get to 400 points if you can get a few hat tricks in there or something. Like, he could easily get, don't know where he's going to end up, but he's going to take some beating. That points totally puts up. Let's hope he scores this week. Salah for captain. Yeah, obviously Salah's had, I think, 4 games without a goal. Little drought, but he's got Spurs next. I think it's a good fixture for him. Spurs do concede goals, and Liverpool, we know they're fighting for the title. They need 1 more point, so you'd expect Salah to bounce back from this one. Thoughts on triple Newcastle attack?
Well,
I'll let you think. What would you
reckon? I think it will only work if Newcastle obviously score a lot of goals. I'm not keen on it. I think I'd rather go with 2 attack and then have 1 defender. Ideally, probably Isaac and Barnes with Shaw as the defensive pick to go with instead of triple Newcastle attack, because you'll want other attacking players at midfield, and I think that's too many Newcastle.
Yeah, I'd probably go with double attack and then 1 defender. James, hi guys. Thoughts on a -8 to play 9 and triple captain Salah? Don't like taking a -8 this late on. You probably won't make it up. We can triple captain Salah. You could wait now. I probably would wait for double game week 36 because there are potential double game week 36 coming. Salah's not a bad shout in a single game week, but yeah, I'm not sure about a -8 to play 9 as well. Could you be better off free hitting? Let us know, James, if you still have a free hit chip.
Yeah, because I think that means you're before the obviously the -8. You have, I think, 6. If my maths is correct, or 7 players. So yeah, you're definitely in the free hit territory. I mean, you still have triple captain as well, which is this late on. Could be interesting. I think though you probably want a free hit, James. That's the best thing to do. Save yourself taking -8, and then you probably have to use triple captain chip in the double game week 36 on someone. It does depend on the FA Cup and who wins out of that and whatnot. So yeah, I think it saves the triple captain chip and focus on getting us 11 players for your team in the free hit. Because a -8, I think at this stage is a bit too much to take. And I think you want to benefit more from the triple captain by not taking a -8. So is Raul better than Barnes or Murphy? If I'm honest, I think Raul's better than Murphy. I think I still favour Barnes as being the better pick over Raul Jimenez. But I think I prefer Raul over Murphy as the better pick. And Harry, starts you out of Palmer and Burma and Luis Diaz. I think you want to start Luis Diaz. It's a big game for Liverpool. Tottenham at home as well. Conceded a lot and nothing really much to play for Tottenham either. And I think to be different, like Hassan's doing, go for Palmer. No one's really going to have Palmer in their free hit just because he hasn't scored in like 10 plus game weeks. So he's not really been looked at. But because of that reason, that makes it a benefit because if he hasn't been looked at, then that's where the rank gain is. And you never know. It could be one of those games where Palmer finally scores a goal. In Birmingham's got a tough fixture, but I still would like him to have him. But I think I'll pick Palmer and Diaz to start.
All right. Thoughts on Cunha captain? Obviously, you're on Cunha captain, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're chasing rank like I am, Cunha's the optimal captain pick to go for instead of Isaac and Salah. So yeah, if you're chasing rank, then definitely Cunha captain for me. But if you're not, then Salah or Isaac.
Yeah, Harry says Shah has a yellow flag. I wouldn't go Shah just for that reason. He might not even start. So I think it's best to be safe. Go with a Pope or a Trippier. But yeah, just one to watch with Shah's flag. Free hit still not used. Then yeah, James, you're in a position. Just play the free hit. Don't see why you'd want to wait. If you're taking a -8, just get in your 11 players on a free hit and then use your triple captain in the double game week 36. Liverpool definitely going to party v Spurs and Newcastle need goals. Yeah, I think double Liverpool will be popular. Maybe triple if you want to add in a Trent and Isak, Murphy, Barnes. You know, they're all good picks. So I think those two are the fixtures that I'd be sort of targeting. We'll do a little score prediction as well, as always. I'll bring up the fixtures. Just bear with me. Can you see the screen? One moment. There you go. Some score predictions. 5 fixtures today. We've got quite a lot of games. Early kickoff, big one. Chelsea at home to Everton. Obviously, I've got Parma and Cucurella. How do you see this one going, Jordan? Do Chelsea? I mean, let's look at the league table. I don't know actually where they are, but that loss for Aston Villa was massive for the title race. Oh, not title race, Premier League, Champions League race. Chelsea are currently 6th, 2 points behind Newcastle in 5th. So if Chelsea win, they go temporarily at least in the top 5. and Chelsea have 2 wins in their last 5, 2 draws and a loss. How do you see Chelsea getting on with Everton, who have 1 win in their last 5?
Yeah, this could go either way, either a draw or win for Chelsea. And it's hard to read Chelsea in the few game weeks because they've not been the most convincing team to watch. Sort of had a goal drought and then sort of had a downfall. Against Everton, it's going to be tough because defensively they've been pretty decent. But Chelsea desperately need the 3 points if they want Champions League. So I'm going to go for potentially a 2-1 Chelsea, just because the need and hunger to win that game is going to be high. And yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1 win for them.
Yeah, okay. So I've not been impressed with Chelsea recently. And I actually called this very early on in the season when, if you guys remember, I was pretty strong in my thoughts when Chelsea was second at one point. And I said, these guys are going to fall away. Didn't expect them to fall away to 6th, but I was wary about Chelsea with the goalkeeper, the defense, known reliable goal scorer. Just a bunch of players just mishmashed together, I think. And yeah, even I've picked Palmer. I'm not 100%. I think Palmer might score, but I wouldn't bet money on Spurs versus Spurs. I wouldn't bet money on Chelsea winning this one. I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm going for 1-1. I think could be end of Chelsea's Champions League hopes if that happens. Yeah, I'll go 1-1. But hopefully Palmer gets the goal. Moving on to Brighton and West Ham. Again, these two teams sort of not much to play for. Brighton have no wins in their last 5, 3 losses and 2 draws, which is a bit of poor form. And West Ham no wins in their last 5 as well. So 2 teams playing each other with similar form. What happens there, Jordan? Who wins, or what are you expecting?
Yeah, again, it's a messy result. And who wins in this one? I think Brighton will get the win, though. I think I have a strong prediction that they will get the result today against West Ham. I think in maybe a 2-0 win against Brighton. I think they even keep a clean sheet too.
2-0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Brighton. I think Brighton get a win, get bounced back. So yeah, I'll go 2-1. But yeah, as you can see as well, not keen on any of these teams or in terms of a free hit. But if I was picking one, maybe Welbeck could be decent shout on a free hit.
Yeah, definitely Danny Welbeck.
And then moving on to, sorry, you were saying?
No, I was just saying Danny Welbeck. Yeah, it's a decent pick.
Yeah, the differential. Moving on to Newcastle at home to Ipswich. Newcastle are also in the fight for top 5. They are currently 5th. 59 points. It's a must win for them as well. They can go, 3rd again temporarily. Newcastle have played 1 game less than Man City as well, so they can actually go above Man City. My bad, because obviously they have they played 33. Man City have played 34. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, Newcastle definitely need the goals. Obviously for this game and especially the win. I think they should get the win. Newcastle. Hopefully it's not a tough one for them to obviously get. It's an easy one for all of us to have Newcastle assets. I'm gonna go for 3-1 Newcastle. I still think they will concede at least 1 goal from Ipswich.
I'm gonna go. I'll go 3-0. Yeah, I'll go 3-0 Newcastle. Clean sheet. I'm going, and then maybe Isak to score, or hopefully Murphy again for me. So yeah, I'll go 3-0 Newcastle win. Moving on to Southampton v Fulham. We know Southampton already relegated, confirmed. Fulham are 9th. They could make a sort of late chase for Europe. They are only 1 point behind Bournemouth in 8th. And then there's a gap between them and Villa in 7th. So how do you see this one going?
Yeah, I think this is a Fulham win for sure. I still think Southampton will sort of score a goal
Yeah.
against Fulham, despite the non-passion to play. Scoreline wise, it's a tough one to call again. I think 2-1 Fulham. I don't think they'll go massively on goals.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very slow.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham away win. I think Southampton probably score a consolation goal, but yeah, Fulham will get the win, I think. Moving on, Wolves against Leicester. We know Wolves are sort of safe. Wolves actually have 5 wins in a row, which is impressive. Leicester are going down, as confirmed last weekend. Do Wolves make it 6 wins in a row, Jordan?
Yeah, I think so. For Leicester have struggled through this season, and Ruben Van Nistelrooy hasn't really improved much as the new manager being there. So yeah, I think Wolves do get the win, and I think the clean sheet as well is there for Wolves. I'm going with like 3-0 Wolves.
Okay.
Hopefully, Cunha hat trick.
I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Wolves. I think they might get the clean sheet. So yeah, I'll go 2-0 Wolves. They look a lot better recently as well. So we'll see how that one goes. Moving on then to Sunday, another 2 games. Bournemouth at home to Man United. Man United losing last week to Wolves. Man United only have 1 win in their last 5 in the Prem. And Bournemouth actually have also 1 win in their last 5. So Bournemouth have had a bit of a dip in recent weeks. What do you reckon happens in this one?
Yeah, because of the reasons for Man United, where they are in the table, 14th. They can't get Champions League through obviously climbing the table in the Premier League, and not really much further to play for. Bournemouth are in 8th. Again, not really much there, but I think because of Man United having that ability to rotate, because they're still in Europa League, Bournemouth will probably get the win again. I wouldn't be surprised if Man United lose another game. So I'm going to go for, again, 2-0 Man United. 2-0 Bournemouth. I don't think Man United will score again, especially if Bruno is benched.
Yeah, it depends a lot on that Man United team, whether they rotate. We know they've got a Europa League semi-final, which they'll be looking at to hopefully win. But yeah, I'm going to go Bournemouth win. I'm going to go 2-1 Bournemouth. I think Man United might nick a goal. So I'll go 2-1 Bournemouth. Then moving on to the big game on Sunday. Well, I'll be in Liverpool, actually. I will be there. Not in the stadium, but I'll be watching it in Liverpool, and hopefully we can celebrate afterwards. Yeah, it's a big game. If you're a Liverpool fan, just 1 point needed to confirm it officially. Liverpool at home to Spurs, Jordan. Do you see this one going? What do you expect, or do Spurs bring a surprise and somehow get a win?
Yeah, this would be a massive disappointment if Spurs managed to disrupt Liverpool's win and delay them for another week. But no, I think Liverpool will get it. I think it just depends on how many they manage to score against Spurs, and I think they'll want to score as many as they possibly can, just to add to that celebration of lifting the Premier League title. So I'm going to go with a 4-1 win to Liverpool.
Was it 4-1 you went with?
Yeah.
Okay, big win. Then I'm going to go 3-1. I do think Liverpool will get a couple goals, I think. And then afterwards, I mean, Spurs, again, similar to Man United, they've got a semi-final coming up. Spurs might even rotate. I think they might, a couple of players, they will rest with a bigger game for them in terms of their season. And yeah, I expect Liverpool to get the job done. They only need a draw, but I think they'll get the win. And then moving on to the final game of the game week, interestingly on Thursday, Nottingham Forest against Brentford. This is a big one as well, because we know Forest are chasing in the Champions League spots as well, and currently Forest are 4th. They did get that big win against Spurs, bouncing back. I didn't think they were great against Spurs, if I'm being honest. Spurs could have easily got a point or even won that game. So yeah, Forest need to win, especially if Chelsea win. It will put a lot of pressure on Forest, I think, going into that game on Thursday. It is a home game, so you'd expect them to perform. But do you see a spanner in the works here? Can Brentford get something with the likes of Mbermo, who we've seen, and Wissa? They can cause teams problems.
Yeah, Brentford can disrupt. They want to do that against not the Forest. Obviously, stop them from reach or getting a championship qualification. But it's going to be tough though away. It's a long shot for Brentford, and especially not the Forest playing at home. I think Brentford will score, but I think not the Forest will get the win. I think there's more passion in them. The Champions League qualification spot. So I'm going to give it to Nottingham Forest to win, and I'm going to say, I'll probably say again 2-1 to Nottingham Forest.
2-1 Forest.
Yeah, because we know they don't score that many goals in the game, and a 1-0 or 2-1 seems more probable.
I think Forest may do it. I'm going to go for 1-0. I think it'll be a slender one, maybe Chris Wood or someone, I don't know, Gibbs White. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win and maybe a clean sheet in this one for them. So, yeah, it's a big game. That's probably the most exciting part of the season right now in terms of the race for the top 5 is a bit interesting. But, yeah, that's the predictions, guys. Let us know what you think in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this weekend?
Yeah, that's a long rest though for Nottingham Forest. Thursday game. Maybe interesting.
Yeah, because they played on Monday, didn't they? Last against Spurs, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Monday Night Football.
Later.
Yeah, should be good, man.
Yeah, because by that time we'll see where Newcastle and obviously Chelsea are, because they're obviously below Nottingham Forest. So yeah, there'll be a lot of indication of where Nottingham Forest will be after that.
Yeah, but there's about 10 minutes left, guys, before the deadline. So get your teams locked in. Make those transfers, your bench order, etc. Let's take a few more comments. Play Barnes or Strand Larson. I already have Cunha and Murphy on the free hit. Probably Barnes. I'd go Barnes, maybe. There's a slight worry with Barnes whether he start. I think he probably will start Barnes, but he definitely will get subbed off, I think, for Gordon. Maybe 60, 70 minutes. So he still could do enough damage in 60, 70. Forest play tomorrow in the Cup, as well, says Ali Mack. That is true. I forgot about that. The semi-finals, aren't they? That's why they're obviously
late.
Yeah.
Yeah, another big game for them. So yeah, it's a big week next for them.
Hold on. What comment were you going to do? This one, right?
Just one above it.
I'll let you go.
So Soul Searcher says, which teams can meet switch Leicester, Southampton, Everton most likely score? I think the Southampton one is definitely the most likely one to score because they always seem to score a consolation goal no matter who the opponents are in the game. I think in terms of Everton, again, they're another likely team to maybe put one against Chelsea. We know that obviously their goalkeeper Sanchez hasn't really got on well for Chelsea like he was in Brighton. And they do ship goals, Chelsea, here and there. So I say probably them two are the most likely to score. I think Ipswich and Leicester are the least likely, even though Delap is back for Ipswich. I think Leicester having a flat attack. I just see Everton and Southampton more likely to score.
Okay. Ali Max says, if not Salah, who else might you captain? Yeah, I think Isak's the one I would go for if I'm not going on Salah. Was Jordan's also put a shout for Cunha in there?
Yeah, Cunha's another shout. I would say Raul Jimenez if he wasn't rotating with Muniz, because he would be a good shout against Southampton away, but because of the minutes risk of him not playing 90, his captaincy options are not that high.
Yeah, just for you guys maybe joined late, this is my free hit team currently. I'm pretty locked. Salah cap, Isak Vice, playing a 3-4-3. Don't know how I feel about double Chelsea when I don't expect them to win, but yeah, we'll see with that because Chelsea is early kickoff as well, isn't it? Oh, yeah, Muniz is out for this game, says Dan. I didn't know that, but if that's the case, even better.
Oh, then yeah, Raul Jimenez is guaranteed 90 minutes with no rotation between him if he's out for this game.
But yeah, like I think a lot of these plays are nailed. I think, in terms of on a free hit, I think a lot of them are sort of no-brainer picks. Like Salah, everyone's going to have him. Isak, Cunha. I think even Diaz is going to be very popular on free hit drafts. Murphy or a Newcastle attacker like Barnes. Nuri. It's just the one or two that I think will be different. And I think do go different, guys, on a free hit if you can, if you're chasing. So your time is now to go different because you're only going to get one free hit a season. And maybe bringing in someone like a Welbeck or whoever could pay off when you're trying to be different.
Yeah, for this week, obviously a free hit, you want to go mad, especially this late on as well in the season. There's nothing really to lose. Going with a gut feeling.
All right. Yeah, not long left for the deadline. But yeah, let us know what your plans are, guys, for the weekend. Anyone's got any plans? Obviously, I'll be in Liverpool. Hopefully, it's a big one. It's gonna be a busy weekend, to be fair.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive, obviously, celebration for Liverpool and Klopp's first season as well, winning the Premier League title.
Slot.
Oh, sorry, Slot. Sorry, winning the Premier League title.
Yeah.
For Liverpool.
Dan says thoughts on Clivert. Haven't spoke about him.
Yes.
I had him initially in the draft. I don't think he's a bad pick. I think actually he is a good pick, and you can easily include him in your draft instead of Palmer, because Palmer hasn't been great, and Clivert sort of has been a lot better. So I don't hate people that are going for the Clivert pick, but Man United, how many do you think they're going to score?
I think a few. The way Man United play, we've seen them in games. They are volatile to conceding at least 4 goals in the game, and especially with a team that's rotated, like most likely will be against Bournemouth, and gives them more options to score, and gives Clivert a lot of opportunities. So yeah, I think he was on my free hit as well, Clivert, as a punt. So yeah, I'll definitely, if you've got the route, include him. Because he can easily go big against Man United. Again, they've nothing to play for. Neither team has nothing to play for, but Bournemouth will want to get the 3 points anyway, just to get as high as they can on the table. But on the other hand, Man United are not bothered. They're focusing on that Europa League, and if they can get that does mean a championship spot for them.
Mark said thoughts on Alisson as goalkeeper. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. Definitely could get a clean sheet against Spurs. I think Liverpool might concede. I think they could concede one. Especially if they're going for a goal. Spurs can get one on the counter. So I'm not sold with a Liverpool clean sheet, but wouldn't rule it out completely.
Or would you prefer Sells? I think Sells is an more exciting one because he has Brentford. And I think I did also have Sells as my second goalkeeper pick in the free hit over, I think, Kepa. So yeah, I do prefer Sells over Alisson because you never know. Obviously, not the Forest. Defensively, have been pretty good this season, and it wouldn't surprise me if they keep a clean sheet against Brentford.
Yep.
I do like the shout. Sales has kept a lot of clean sheets this season as well. Just going to check how many he's actually kept, because arguably he's been the best goalkeeper, one of the best for clean sheets this season. Yeah, he is. He's the highest scoring goalkeeper this season.
Yep.
With in terms of clean sheets, he's had 13 this season. So if you've had Sales from game week 1 and kept him in your team, then yeah, you're pretty much laughing at this moment, because he's earned 141 points for you.
Yeah.
Only 9 behind, obviously Pickford behind him with 9, more or less. So yeah, exciting shout.
Okay. That looks like we're sort of locked.
Yeah, we're in the last couple of minutes. Hussein Adventures currently only have 6 players on a -8. Is it worth more hits? No, absolutely not. You don't want to be taking more. Even a -8 is a bit too much at this point in the season, and that's free hit territory if you still have it. For sure, if you need that, definitely needs a free hit, because only 6 players is not enough, I don't think, to cover this week, and that'd be too many hits to take to get more players in. Is Muniz fit? According to Dan, Muniz is out for this game, and he is also currently flagged on the FPL, which I did not see. So I don't think Muniz is going to be fit, Andy, for this game against Southampton.
Well,
I can check though what.
Yeah, I would check, because I didn't
his
see
injury stats is.
any like news on him.
So for Fulham, Muniz. Yeah, it says looks set to be also unavailable for the Southampton match, and the manager's not sure when he'll return.
Yeah, so
it's an unspecified injury. We don't really know what the injury is, but he has been ruled out for the Southampton game.
Yeah, which makes Raul even a better pick,
Yeah, definitely. She'll definitely bring in Raul now, guys. He most likely playing 90 minutes now without rotation on the knees beside him. That gives him plenty of time to get rid of tackle return.
Yeah. I'm thinking do I bring in a double Newcastle defense, have Pope, and have another defender Newcastle, because I'm not sure on Cucurella keeping a clean sheet against Everton.
Does he have much attacking threat?
Not as much. I might just do Trippier.
Or Livramento.
Or someone like that. But that means I've got to get rid of Pope and then maybe play the Chelsea goalie. I'm just going to leave it, I think. I could change. It's just changing Cucurella for Trippier, but then Pope for Sanchez.
Yeah. I mean, Cucurella's exciting. You never know with Chelsea. They could have a good game after such terrible ones. It could be the bounce back match. And we're in the last couple of seconds, guys. Make sure you save your team as well. Don't forget that. I'm actually going to check that I've saved mine. Yeah, mine is saved. So, yeah, don't forget. And that's the deadline. It is now 11 o'clock.
There you go, guys. There you go. That's it. Hopefully, we all get green arrows. Ask you are flying this season. What's the target finish? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm flying. It's pretty poor game rank for me. I usually finish top 100k, but this sort of season's been a bit tougher. I don't even know what the finish would be now. I'm trying to finish as high as possible. 100k was in sight a couple of weeks ago, but now I think it's going to be tough. 100k. So yeah, it's one of those seasons where maybe 200k I can still get. Hopefully, I'll win my mini leagues with my mates. That will be big. I'm top at the moment in my mini league, so as long as I win that, hopefully, it should be good. But yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Yeah. Unless you want to add anything else, Jordan.
No, I think that's pretty much everything covered for this deadline. Obviously, the blank Gameweek 34 is going to be interesting one. How many points we see in it. I don't think it'll be that high scoring, probably 40, 50 points at most for this week, unless we see a madness of goals coming from a lot of the newly promoted team matches like Leicester, Southampton, and Ipswich, which is possible. But yeah, it will be interesting. One for sure, exciting. I think week because we're all doing different things, different captains.
Yeah,
a lot of free hits, non-free hits. It will be interesting to see who wins the battle. The non-free hitters or the free hitters this game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have free hits, so it should be interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you again tomorrow. I won't be in the stream because I'll be in Liverpool. So Jordan will probably take that one. But yeah, I will see you on the next podcast for Gameweek 35, which I think will be interesting because most of us haven't planned for the last 4 weeks without chips. So want to see what the boss teams look like for 35. But take care, guys.
Yeah, take care, guys. See you tomorrow.